news comes first. This is ABC-7 Extra.
Welcome to ABC-7 Extra. Good evening. I'm your host, Dylan McKim. For the next half hour, we will be talking about the city's proposed property tax rate. In just about a week and a half, City Council will vote to approve the property tax rate for the next fiscal year. We want to provide a little background on property taxes for El Paso residents. There are 5 government entities that collect a majority of your property taxes. Let's break them down for you and see who is taking the most money. In 2021, the taxing entity taking the most property taxes was the school districts. In this example, we used El Paso ISD. So if you live within that district, about 43% of your property taxes were going to their schools. After them was the city at roughly 29% and the county at about 15%. University Medical Center and El Paso Community College come in at the bottom with about 8% and 4% respectively. Your property taxes are determined by 2 factors: the taxable value of your home and the tax rate from each entity. For the past 2 years, El Paso homeowners have been getting a letter in the mail from the Central Appraisal District notifying them the value of their home has gone up. As home values go up, so do your property taxes, even if the tax rate stays constant from year to year. In July, City Council directed the city manager to reduce the proposed property tax rate to help the community cope with rising grocery and fuel prices. And city staff did come back with the lower property tax rate. Let's go through how much the proposed rate went down. Right now, the proposed rate is 86.2 cents per every $100 of property valuation. That's almost a 5% decrease in the tax rate from the prior year. The city said it was the largest tax rate reduction in 35 years. They said it would save taxpayers $19.3 million. But the value of homes increased at a greater rate. According to a notice by the city, the average taxable value of a home, including the homestead exemption, increased by more than 11% from the previous year. The notice also shows the amount of money an average home would pay in property taxes would go up by 6% with the proposed rate the way it is right now. Here to talk to us in more detail about the property valuations in El Paso is the CEO of El Paso Matters, Bob Moore. Bob, thank you so much for coming on the show. Let's start with some background right now. How has the housing market in El Paso changed? Let's go back 5 years.
I think if you go back 5 years, El Paso had seen a fairly steady increase or flattening of property valuations. Things really began to change in 2021 and then accelerated in 2022. Largely driven by conditions around the pandemic. You had people that were looking for larger homes in some cases, or places with offices. And so at the same time, you didn't have more homes coming onto the market. So you have this classic supply and demand problem where there's this huge demand for houses and not much more of a supply. So that really drove up housing prices in town. So overall, if you look at various market analyses out there, housing prices have gone up probably in the range of about 40% over the last 2 years. That then has an impact on the tax valuation. Also important to note, because people will think, oh, I don't own a house, this isn't affecting me. The valuation of apartment complexes has gone up dramatically too, and even though renters don't directly pay the property taxes, they indirectly pay it through their landlords. And so one of the impacts, and we can probably talk about this more, of what's happening right now is we're seeing a real shift in the tax burden from residential property owners more toward renters now because of various factors around state law. And then also it's important to note that this rise in valuation is not uniform across the city. It's not like everybody's home value has gone up 40% over the last couple of years. Some have gone up by double, some have only gone up 15 to 20%. The real drive in the market has been in what used to be lower value, more affordable homes. There's more of a supply of that and more of a demand. And so one of the things that we've seen happen is that home values in a lot of the older parts of the city, classic working class neighborhoods, have really gone up dramatically.
Well, kind of show us break it down. We have a map here of the city and the most recent round here of property valuations going up. Which areas of town have seen the largest increases? And let's go through also what areas of town have saw the lowest increases.
Yeah, and so probably the most startling increase is an area right up in this area around between Vinton and Canutillo.
Okay.
It's an area called Westway, which was originally founded as a colonia, meaning that it didn't have running water in there. The state has been able to go in and add that, but it's very much a working class neighborhood, a lot of smaller homes. The property values of homes in two of the big subdivisions in Westway have doubled in the last 2 years.
Wow.
So homes that used to have an average value of about $80,000 are now up above $160,000. The other really startling increase, if you come into the city of El Paso now, is right in Segundo Barrio, right off of downtown, which would be down
here.
Yeah,
This
down here. Thanks.
area,
Thanks for helping me to move that. So, and again, in some subdivisions in Segundo Barrio, valuations of single-family homes have doubled in the last 2 years. The other areas where you begin to see it is a lot of these older neighborhoods in central El Paso, like Clardy Fox is another one where we've seen home valuations increase by 80% or more.
Wow, 80% in these areas.
In those areas. Now, by contrast, when you look at in neighborhoods with more expensive homes, so say in the Willows, which is up in this area around off of Sunland Park and in the Upper Valley there, you've only seen increases in the range of about 20%. And then if you go into the areas around UTEP, areas like Kern Place over here, and then the Rim area over here, you've only seen increases in the neighborhood of around 20%. But then you go right across the street into Sunset Heights. You've seen increases in that area where homes traditionally were valued much lower than those other neighborhoods. Home values in Sunset Heights have increased by about 80% in the last couple of years.
So what's driving these large increases in areas? It seems like more older homes, more working class neighborhoods. You talked about the Segundo Barrio. You talked about some older homes in the south central area, and also Sunset Heights. 80% here, 80% there. What's driving those large increases?
A lot of it is supply and demand. So you have people who are looking for houses in the range of, say, $90,000 to $150,000. There's more people looking for those kinds of houses, and there's more houses like that available, but not enough to meet the demand. On the other hand, when you go to houses valued at $300,000 or more, there's not as much of a market for it, so it hasn't driven things up. The other thing that may be playing a small role is people buying investment properties. I think this is particularly true in an area like Sunset Heights, whether they want to use it for Airbnbs or to do rentals. That has forced valuations up as well.
Well, how is it affecting people in these areas when they see they're getting that letter in the mail, 80% my home value's gone up? How is it affecting them?
They're not taking it well, and you would expect that. Now, it's great news if you are trying to sell your house and you're seeing this markup go way up, but it's not great news if you want to continue to live in the house and you face the tax issues. There is some protection built into law for homeowners that limits the increase on the taxable value of your home to not going up more than 10% a year. So in these neighborhoods, like we'll use Chihuahuita, or we'll use Sunset Heights since it's up there, even though the home value has gone up by 80% in the last couple of years, the taxable value on that home could only go up 10% last year and 10% this year. The bad news there is it means that those people are going to see 10% increases in their valuation every year for at least the next 6, 7, 10 years. And that we'll see what happens next year, because El Paso CAD is going to do another valuation next year because of the rapid changes in the market. So there are some protections for homeowners. And especially in a place like Sunset Heights, it's important to remember there are not those protections for rental properties. So if a rental property's valuation goes up 80% in 2 years, you're going to see the full value of that taxed. And that then shifts back to the tenants who live there, because they're the ones who ultimately will pay. We've seen rents really begin to skyrocket in El Paso, and we're not alone. That's happening across the country. One factor in that, especially in recent months, came when landlords started to get their valuation notices, saw what was going to happen, and they started ratcheting up their rents again for people. The average multiple family property, meaning apartment complexes, increased in value by 22% this year. So that could add to a unit in a 100-unit apartment complex. Each unit may be facing rent increases of $70 or $80 a month just to pay for the increased property taxes that are going to be generated off of that.
Well, let's talk about homeowners in these areas. I mean, the writing's on the wall, like you said. The taxable value can only go up 10% by law. But as you said, it's they could see that 10% going up every year for the next maybe decade. Could we start seeing people moving out of this area, or can they even move out of this area to find a house in the housing market we're in right now?
I don't think that the increases are enough to force people to move, but what they are going to do is force people to make choices about what they're going to do. It's really going to cut into their disposable incomes, and I think that's a concern, especially with people on fixed income. The other thing to remember, we did a study last year that the tax bill on an average value home in El Paso has gone up between $500 and $900 a year, adjusted for inflation, over the past decade. At the same time, income levels in El Paso declined by almost 3%. And so you're seeing these property tax bills going up at a time income levels are going down. That's going to put a tremendous squeeze on people and really affects discretionary income, going out to restaurants, going to movies, things like that.
Speaking of that study, you said the last 10 years, looking at the property tax bills for homes around El Paso, looking at those trends, what's really the entity that's really driving these prices, these property bills going up? School districts? Is it the city? What is it?
So the state has made some changes in how schools are funded. That's helped keep school tax rates down a bit over the years, so that's helped. But the real growth has come in the city part of the property tax bill, and that accounts for almost like 2/3 of the growth that we've seen in these bills. And the city has made more investments over the years in hiring more police officers, paying police and firefighters better. The bulk of the increase in city spending has been on public safety issues. But I think one of the things that we've seen is that you have some elected officials who I think have been very misleading about what's been going on with that. I think they're trying to stake out this claim that we've been able to make all of these investments without raising property taxes, and that's just not true. Property taxes have gone up. One of the things that elected officials at the city council were saying is, oh, we haven't raised the property tax rate for 3 years. And while that's true, it's really misleading because those valuations have gone up. The main thing to look at in determining whether there's a property tax increase is a government collecting more money in property tax revenue than they were the year before. State law is set up in a way that as valuations rise, property tax rates should go down. In that press release from the city that you mentioned, they said that if we had kept the property tax rate the same, it would have cost taxpayers $19 million more. The city legally could not have kept the property tax rate the same under state law. They were forced by state law to lower that rate unless they wanted to go to a vote of the public, which wasn't going to happen.
Let's go over some of those terms we're going to use today. We actually have some definitions we want to put on your screen. It's the voter approval tax rate and the no new revenue tax rate. You kind of touched on those, but kind of explain what is the no new tax revenue tax rate?
Yeah, and so these are really complex issues, and you've got Robert Cortinas from the city here with us today, who's one of the best experts on this and explains it probably better than I can. But the no new revenue rate is the amount of money needed to collect the same amount of money you did the year before on the same property. So it excludes any new construction in the community. So basically, these are the properties we had last year. This is how much we collected off of them. This is what we would need to tax this year to collect the same amount.
And for the voter approval rate?
The state allows you to go up 3.5% over that no new tax rate. If you exceed that, you have to then go to the public to ask for approval. And so it's important to note that no new revenue rate is always a decrease of the current tax rate as long as property valuations are rising.
Bob Moore, thank you very much for your expertise in breaking all this down for us. We will be right back. We're going to hear from some El Pasoans that we talked about to see how inflation and taxes are impacting them. Stay with us.
Hey, El Paso, your future is calling. It's time to imagine what's possible and dream big. We are ready to create a new path forward, helping you reach your goals and potential. Your passion is our purpose. Let's rise together.
If you think about it, hash browns are the French fries of breakfast.
Who says it's not French fries that are the hash browns of lunch and dinner?
That's also true.
There's always something to talk about when it comes to McDonald's breakfast. Right now, get a sausage biscuit and hash browns pairing for just $2.50. Mornings taste better at McDonald's.
Hi, Jerry Slaughter with Mission Chevrolet. It's that time of year again, football and tailgating. At Mission Chevrolet, we have a huge supply of crew cabs that can make your next tailgate a mission accomplished. Shop Mission Chevrolet, where it's all about you.
ABC-7 Sunday Extra brings you context and perspective you won't find anywhere else. Join Dylan McKim Sunday nights at 10:35 for the Borderlands' only in-depth discussion on issues that matter to you.
Hey, El Paso, your future is calling. It's time to imagine what's possible and dream big. We are ready to create a new path forward, helping you reach your goals and potential. Your passion is our purpose. Let's rise together.
Back to ABC-7 Extra, we are discussing the city's proposed property tax rate. In July, City Council directed the city manager and city staff to come back to them with a lower property tax rate. Representatives say they want to give some relief to El Pasoans as they feel the pain at the checkout. From gas to groceries, prices are high. It's impacting many and causing some to make sacrifices. ABC-7 spoke to El Pasoans to see how they have been impacted.
I'm not shopping for stuff as much as I like. I'm not driving around like I used to on the weekends. I'm switching to store brands instead of more expensive brands, but it has changed a lot for me.
Definitely. Living in the east side, it does affect the gas prices. The commute here daily is a little bit costly. I've definitely lowered costs on going out to eat. I'd say I'd treat our family maybe Fridays and Saturdays, and it's just maybe 2 Fridays out of the month now.
I do have someone that takes me from place to place, my grandpa, and I do see some doctors on the east side or anything, and it's like $20 used to give you a half tank, and now it doesn't even give you a half tank.
We also asked El Pasoans how they felt about taxes. Would they want to see them lowered, or are they happy with where they're at now?
Do you wish taxes were lower or anything was lower?
I just wish the prices were lower, not the taxes. Taxes wouldn't really do much. I wish the prices were lower.
Yes, it'd be nice if they lowered them. I mean, I am a single mother of 2, so it would help out greatly if they lowered the taxes.
Do you wish they would lower taxes down?
Yes.
And why is that?
To help us out, give us a break, not be so tough on us. Especially my family, they work hard to help out, with bills and everything, and it's just a lot of work.
I don't think they're as bad as they could be like some other states and some other places.
Like we have reported, City Council representatives want to provide some relief to El Pasoans who are struggling with these high prices. As we have seen on this show so far, the proposed tax rate will actually create more revenue for the city this year, and taxpayers will be paying more because of the increase in property values. The city could lower their tax rate to the no new revenue tax rate, which means the city would get about the same amount of revenue from the previous year. That no new revenue tax rate is 82.3 cents, which is about 4 cents lower than the proposed rate right now. We reached out to every city council rep and the mayor through their office email to ask them if they would approve the no new revenue tax rate or if they would stick with the proposed rate. Again, City Council votes for approval on August 23rd. We reached out to the representatives on Wednesday morning, and by the time of this newscast, which is taped on Friday morning, we have not received any responses. We did receive one email from District 6, which is Claudia Rodriguez's office, saying they received our email and they would do everything to help us, but we did not receive an answer to our question. You're watching ABC-7 Extra. Still ahead, we will sit down with the Chief Financial Officer for the City of El Paso to go into more detail about the tax rate. Stay with us.
A good education is key for every child, and ESC 19 Head Start is the best place for children to begin. Head Start is El Paso's premier preschool program for expectant mothers and children from birth to 4 years old. Our full range of services support early learning and development in high-quality educational environments. We also help parents with their educational and career goals with classes, training, and community resources. Call or visit us online to register today.
Oscar Leaser's Hyundai of El Paso is proud to celebrate our 21st anniversary. We've served El Paso proud for over 2 decades, and this year we're celebrating by expanding. The amazing expansion is underway as we prepare a bigger, better, state-of-the-art showroom and service experience to serve you for the next 21 years. We're open during construction and fully stocked with the vehicles you want today, like Elantras, Colas, Tucson, Santa Fe, Sonatas, even Palisades, all available with 0 down and interest rates as low as 2.99% APR. Only at Oscar Leaser's Hyundai of El Paso.
For context, depth, and perspective you won't see anywhere else, tune into ABC-7 Sunday Extra.
You think there should be a change in gun laws in the state of Texas?
Join Dylan McKim Sunday nights at 10:35 as he brings in-depth debates on the borderland's most pressing matters.
What programs are in the budget proposal right now that are keeping streets maintained or improved?
The big stories, impactful issues, tough, fair discussions, only on ABC-7 Sunday Extra.
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
Welcome back to ABC-7 Extra. I am now joined by the Chief Financial Officer for the City of El Paso, Robert Cortines. And Robert, we are talking about the proposed tax rate, property tax rate for the city in the upcoming year. Your staff, of course, working very hard to put the budget together, putting together this number. I want to make sure we're being accurate right now when we have been talking about it throughout the whole show. With the proposed rate, will El Pasoans be paying more in city property taxes this year, upcoming year?
So it's all dependent upon the property value for those individual homeowners or businesses. On average, though, if you were to take the average bill last year compared to the average bill this year, there would be about an $82 increase in the average bill. And so one of the things that's important to point out with that, though, is that where that money is going, where that additional property tax revenue money is going to be going. And so that's really why I appreciate you inviting me to be able to speak to that today.
Okay, well, let's talk about the City Council really wanted residents to have some relief this year. I think everyone's been impacted. We saw some last segment talking about the sacrifices they were making. Is this where it's at right now? The proposed rate, will it bring relief? Is it considered relief even though they are paying more from year to year?
And so it is. And so you mentioned earlier on the segment, the largest tax rate decrease in over 35 years, the largest coming in 1986 that we had seen. So yes, a 4.5 cent decrease in the property tax rate is significant. Still well below the voter approval rate. We did not go all the way up to the voter approval rate this year. And City Council was very adamant about developing a budget that provided as much relief as possible. And so not only lowering the property tax rate, one of the other key areas where we continue to provide tax relief is for our seniors and our disabled. And so in the budget for next year, we have about $18 million of additional tax relief for our seniors and disabled who, they're on fixed incomes, obviously, not able to work. So the City Council last year did increase that exemption or that discount that we provide for almost 53,000 of our seniors and disabled in the community.
So we talked about it's not the voter approval rate, which would trigger an election for El Pasoans to approve that rate, but it's also not all the way down to the lower limit there at the no new tax revenue rate. Why not just go down to the no new tax revenue rate?
If only it were that simple, right? And so when you think about what the City of El Paso offers as far as services, going all the way down to the no new revenue tax rate would mean that we would have to go from our current proposed rate down about 4 cents, which would equal about a $17 million reduction. And so you're talking about a pretty significant reduction that would be required, that would impact services, it would impact the investments that we're making in and providing pay raises for our employees, which is an area that we've had to get more aggressive in. It would impact opening up new facilities that we have coming online next year. So it would create a real challenge of being able to do that type of reduction without impacting city services next year.
So you would have $17 million that you wouldn't be able to have if you went to the no new tax revenue rate. Everyone always talks about lowering taxes, but no one wants to answer that tough question. If you lower the taxes, which services are you going to cut? That's almost your job. That is your job. You're the budget man. What services could you lose out on if you went down to the no new tax revenue rate?
And so it's not just myself. Obviously, the city manager is the one who puts the budget together, and we work under the city manager. And so it's myself, the budget office. It's our job is to put together the best recommendation for the city council to consider. And one of the things we talk a lot about is very, very difficult decisions every year when we develop the budget. Obviously, we want to minimize the impact on our homeowners and businesses, but at the same time, we have to be responsible in the services that we're providing and that we're not neglecting or deferring certain things. For example, our police and fire department, whether it's the staffing of the facilities, our city employees. We're a very, very large employer. We're the 6th largest employer in the area. The city of El Paso is an organization. And so we employ over 6,000 employees. As I mentioned, that we need to provide pay raises. We need to provide comparable or competitive benefits on health care and the pension that we provide. And so there's costs that come along with that.
Okay. We talk about the services that the budget's going to provide. Part of the proposed tax rate, it's cut into operations and maintenance, and there's also the debt service to pay off the debts. How much of this, I guess, could you give a percentage of the rate, the property tax rate that's going to go toward paying off debts towards bonds, projects that the city approved?
Roughly 2/3 going for the operating, and about 1/3 is going towards the capital projects, the bonds to fund the streets and the public safety bond projects that we have. Just going back to your question, though, about where are the tax dollars going. So the proposed tax rate right now of what we presented to the city council, the 86 cents, generates for the general fund, the operating portion of the budget, about $15 million of additional revenue. When you look at the expense side, our police and fire departments alone are going up by about that same amount, a little over $15 million. So it's easy to say that just the additional property tax revenue alone that's being created with the proposed rate is just barely enough to fund 2 departments, our police and fire department increases.
So $15 million is the increase for just the fire department and the police department.
Correct.
And you're seeing a $17 million increase from year to year in revenue on this proposed
a $15 million increase for the general fund in revenue,
so
property tax revenue. And so essentially all of the additional property tax revenue is going to fund our police and fire. And so those increases, one of the things that myself, the city manager, we do a lot of community presentations really highlighting where those tax dollars are going, the investment in police and fire. It's not just pay raises, but it's also the staffing, again, increasing the staffing levels.
We see this with this graph right here. Kind of explain, what's this graph showing?
And so we use this graphic in a lot of our presentations really to just inform the public and the council about where we were as an organization going back to 2008 and where we are now. And so and this graphic shows between 2008 and up to 2015, we saw a decrease in our police staffing. Essentially every single year, a decrease in the number of officers we have when the city was growing. The Far East Side, the West Side, just about every part of town was growing exponentially due to the growth at Fort Bliss, putting some pressure on our police and fire departments to be able to respond. And so in the summer of 2015, we implemented, we call it our Net 300 plan, to add 300 new officers over a 10-year time period. And so we've been executing that. And so we've got, with what's built into the budget for next year, we will have increased about 173 new officers during that time period.
Okay. Well, let's look at the next graphic you also provided, guys, if we can pull that up. Kind of just a breakdown between, I think, all the services that the city is going to provide. Let's kind of break us down. What are we looking at here? There's a lot of numbers on this page.
It is. It really just highlights what I mentioned earlier. When we talk about budgets and when we talk about where are those cost increases going, police and fire are the #1 cost driver that we have every year. As we continue to invest in doing multiple academies every year to ensure we have the adequate number of staffing, not only for current service, but we're expanding service for police and fire. And so in November of 2019, the voters approved a pretty large $413 million bond for public safety investment. So that's going to include new fire stations, new police stations. And so in order to be able to staff those facilities, we need to begin hiring now because it's a very lengthy process to get them recruited, to get them hired, and to get them on board.
I know this is a long process for you and your team to put all this together. You're all crunching the numbers. Come August 23rd, the City Council will vote to either approve the tax rate that you have proposed to them. Are you confident that it will pass?
I am, because ultimately this is really addressing what we've heard throughout the year, not only from the council, but from the community as well. So we do multiple surveys. We do a citizen survey. We do a chime-in survey. We received responses from almost 8,000 homeowners throughout the community. And their priorities, really no surprise. I was a little surprised with the order, but it was really focusing on recreational facilities, which I did mention next year as well. We have the opening of our brand new state-of-the-art Children's Museum in the downtown area. The Mexican American Cultural Center will also be opening next year. So really addressing what we heard from our community with new recreation facilities. We also have $10 million in street projects for next year again, continuing to fund, again, the investment in our streets, which is a top priority every year for the community and the council. And then again, the investment in our police and fire departments that I talked about.
Okay, Robert Cortinas, Chief Financial Officer with the City of El Paso. Thank you so much for coming on and answering these questions. And thank you for watching ABC-7 Extra. I'm your host, Dylan McKim. Have a great start to your week.
Thank you for watching. ABC-7 News is now available on any of these streaming services, as well as the KVIA News and KVIA Weather and Traffic apps.